Welcome to Kids Recall! In today's video, we will be going through the 2019 superhero movie, Spider-Man: Far From Home. It's time to recall. Let's get started! Turn on subtitles and spoilers ahead! Nick Fury and Mariah Hill arrive in summer 2024 in the aftermath of a severe sandstorm that has devastated the little Mexican community of Istenco. Mariah says that what happened there was a tragedy, but they aren't really there for this. She then sarcastically asks if they are fighting the weather now. Fury remarks that according to the locals, the spontaneous incident had a face, identifying it as a potential danger that they should examine. Mariah doesn't seem convinced and says that people see a lot of things when they are under stress. This couldn't possibly be a world-ending incident. But she is cut midway when the Earth-based creature resurfaced as an unidentifiable entity, but Quentin Beck, an unknown third party, arrived and disassembled it with Fury and Hill's assistance. In the next scene, Betty Brant and Jason Iannello is delivering their daily school news broadcast, but they begin with an in memoriam dedication to Tony Stark, Steve Rogers, Natasha Romanoff, and Vision. Betty retells the events of the Snap, or the Blip as it's known in Avengers Endgame, with several pupils being dusted off before returning to life and discovering that some of their younger classmates had now physically surpassed them. Then we see scenes of people reappearing on the basketball amidst screams from the students already there. The students then also commented on how they had completed half of the school year and had even given their midterms, but the school had forced them to start the year again. Peter Parker and Ned discuss about Peter's intentions to confess his feelings to MJ, on whom he has formed a crush. They're getting ready for a class vacation to Europe, and Peter is hoping to express his feelings to her. Peter is planning to buy a dual headphone adapter, so that he can watch movies with her the whole time. Peter is even planning to buy her a black dahlia necklace from Venice, which is known for producing glass goods. Moreover, he plans to give her the necklace on top of the Eiffel Tower when they go to Paris. After doing all of this, he plans to tell her about his feelings for her, and he hopes that she will reciprocate them. But Ned disagrees with the plan. He reminds Peter that they are going to be bachelors in Europe and that Europeans love them. Peter disagrees and tells him that he really likes MJ, and she is really funny in a dark way, and he has seen her looking at him sometimes. Peter asks MJ if she is excited about the trip, and she asks him if he has any plans. Ned interjects and tells her that Peter is going to collect spoons while he is there, to which MJ jokingly comments, "Like a grandmother." Peter says that he isn't going to do anything of the sort, and MJ then says that's good, and then says that he should probably download a VPN while they are there, so the government can't track them. Peter says that he will. After MJ leaves, Ned comments that he thinks that went really well. Later, Peter appears as Spider-Man at a fundraiser with Aunt May by his side, and we learn that she got blipped too. She tells a story of how when she came back, the woman who lived there almost had a heart attack because she thought May was a ghost. They are met by Happy Hogan, who greets them and looks to be flirting with May. He warns Peter that Fury will phone him. Peter says, why would Fury call him? Happy replies that he calls superheroes, and Peter is a superhero. But Peter says that if something was that important, Fury would call someone else. A second later, Peter gets a call from Fury, but he sends him to voicemail, which Happy doesn't like. He says that if Peter doesn't talk to Fury, then he will have to talk to Fury. Peter says that he will call him back after he is free. He then goes back to give an interview as Spider-Man, but the reporters bombard him with questions about being the next Iron Man or the next Avenger, so he leaves. He swings to the top of a building where he takes a deep breath and then looks at an Iron Man mural. The next day, Peter is getting ready to leave, and he looks at his old Spider-Man costume when Aunt May comes in and throws a banana at him. This catches him off guard, and May apologizes, saying that she thought he could sense it with his Peter tingle. Peter requests her to not call his power that, and May then asks him to take his suit along, as it could come in handy. Later, the class depart for the trip, and Peter was so excited about it. Mr. Harrington and Mr. Dell are their chaperones, and they're joined by other pupils, including Flash Thompson, who is still a great Spider-Man fan but still dumps on Peter. On the aircraft, Peter attempts to get Ned to help him exchange seats so that he may sit next to MJ, but Ned only succeeds in getting Mr. Harrington to take Peter, while MJ is seated next to Brad Davis, one of the powdered youngsters who grew up to be a handsome, athletic superstar. While Peter is visibly envious, Ned sits next to Betty, and the two end up dating. The students make their first visit to Venice, Italy. They stay in a run-down motel, but they utilize the opportunity to take in the sights as Peter tries to grow closer to MJ. The water levels on the ground begin to rise unexpectedly. Soon after, a gigantic water elemental descends upon the city, flooding it and destroying structures with water. Peter rushes to intervene, but he has forgotten his Spider-Man costume in the motel. Beck appears and fights the water elemental using his abilities. He is able to suppress the creature's strikes before eventually splitting it in half. Peter's friends see him as a hero, and after seeing a news program about him, they begin to address him as Mysterio. Peter and Ned return to their room, but Fury tranquilizes Ned. He's been trying, unsuccessfully, to grab Peter's attention until now. Because everyone kept interrupting them, they had to leave the room to chat alone. To meet Mariah and Beck, Fury brings Peter to his secret hideout. During their boat ride, he hands Peter a pair of glasses. At the hideout, Beck says that he is from a parallel Earth, which is where the elementals originated. The snap is said to be to blame, and Beck thinks the fire elemental was the one who destroyed his homeworld and his family. Fury wants Peter's aid in fighting back, but he believes he isn't the Avenger who can deal with such creatures. Fury uses his employee, Dimitri, to hijack the class's vacation by acting as a driver to their new and unexpected destination, Prague, where Fury and Beck have learned the fire elemental is planning to strike. On their trip, Peter puts on Tony's spectacles. When he puts the glasses on, he discovers a note within the case that can ask him to speak the word Edith. When Peter says the word, the high-tech glasses turn on and tell him the meaning of the acronym Edith stands for Even Dead, I'm the hero. Later, Peter is taken aside by a tall lady dispatched by Fury to give him a stealth suit before leaving. She tells him to take off his clothes and put the suit on, but he is discovered by Brad, who photographs Peter in a compromising situation. Peter chases him down to get rid of the photo, but Brad claims that he knows Peter likes MJ, and that showing her this will make her gravitate toward Brad. Peter asks Edith to handle Brad, which is misunderstood as an attack request. Peter must somewhat stealthily prevent the oncoming drone from murdering Brad and the entire class. He just instructs Edith to break into Brad's phone and remove the photos. Mr. Harrington informs the students that they have been granted tickets to the opera, which wrecks their plans to attend the carnival, but this was organized by Fury to keep Peter's pals inside and out of the way of the fire elemental. Peter feels compelled to remain outdoors and, on the watch, sabotages his plan to sit close to MJ. Ned and Betty follow her outside, because they believe the other two are going to the carnival. The fire elemental appears outside and begins to wreak havoc. Spidey and Mysterio band up against the beast, attempting to keep it from touching metal in order to prevent it from becoming stronger. Spidey tries to save Ned and Betty off the Ferris wheel as Mysterio battles the fire elemental. Spidey throws a web at the beast, which takes something from it, and causes it to crash into a concealed MJ. Mysterio then dives into the fire elemental's chest and destroys it with his powers. Peter descends to ensure that he is okay. Meanwhile, Fury continues to chastise him for not following his orders. Fury and Mariah summon Peter and Beck to discuss building a new squad as the group relocates to Berlin. Peter meets Beck privately, and he believes Beck is the one who genuinely deserves Edith, believing Tony only left it up to him to decide who is worthy of replacing Iron Man. After Peter has left, Beck deconstructs the entire illusion in the old building. Everyone there works for him and is a disgruntled former Stark Industries employee. Beck has been fabricating the elementals in order to portray himself as the hero, utilizing drones to replicate the devastation left in their wake. He and the rest of the crew were furious with Tony for destroying their creation, and they banded together to make people forget about Iron Man and Spider-Man and create room for Mysterio. Peter returns to the hotel and invites MJ out on a date with him alone. She interrupts him as he attempts to express his feelings, revealing that she knows he's Spider-Man, owing to several coincidences involving their being in the same spot at the same time. She then takes out a projector that depicts Mysterio fighting the as-yet unseen air elemental, which she discovered near the scene of the fire elemental combat. Beck is behind the elementals, and the two understand he is a phony. As Beck and his henchmen prepare for the elementals' Avengers-level assault, they discover that Peter has the missing projector from one of their drones. Peter meets with Fury and Mariah to discuss Beck's actual motivations, but it turns out that Beck had already caught up with him and had set up an elaborate illusion to trap him. He mocks Peter for not being the hero he aspires to be, even forcing him to see a projection of Tony bursting from his grave and terrorizing him. Fury appears to overpower Beck, and when asked who else he told about Beck, Peter says that he notified MJ and Ned, and that Ned most likely told Betty. This turns out to be another one of Beck's illusions, and he now learns who knows Mysterio's secret and decided to murder them. He also places Peter in the path of a train, which seems to kill him, but Peter is just badly injured and passes out on the train. In the Netherlands, Peter wakes up in a detention cell. He phones Happy to come and fetch him after breaking out. While Happy attends to his wounds, Peter sobs and says he doesn't understand why Tony chose him as his successor when he continues messing things up. Tony trusted in him for a reason, and Happy reassured him that he knew Peter would be the hero he needed to be. Before they fly to London to rescue his friends, Peter gets up and goes to Tony's computer to make himself a new costume. The class is riding a tour bus around London, but one of Beck's henchmen is driving the bus. They come to a halt on the London Bridge, where Mysterio prepares the air elemental for assault. Spidey appears in a new outfit for the fight. Happy flies to collect Ned, MJ, Betty, and Flash, but his plane is shot down, forcing them to shelter in a medieval tower while the drones pursue them. They take refuge in a chamber, but MJ manages to take down a drone with a mace before being confined. Spidey penetrates the elemental's illusion and webs all of the drones together in order to cause them to crash and ruin the illusion. He goes on to smash additional drones until being surrounded by Mysterio and facing a swarm of drones aiming at him while under an illusion. Spidey uses his spider sense to avoid and destroy all of the drones, and one of them shoots Mysterio in the process. Peter leaves to rescue Edith, but Beck tries one final trick to murder him, but it fails, and Beck dies on the spot. Peter then turns off all of the drones. Following that, he and MJ sprint to the bridge to meet with each other. They kiss after acknowledging their shared sentiments. Fury tries to track down Peter once again, but Happy urges him to leave him alone because he's with his new girlfriend. Students return to their homes. Peter invites Happy and May to talk about their relationship, but although Happy believes they are dating, May believes they are simply having a fling. Peter then goes out on a date as Spidey with MJ. He takes her for a ride around the city despite her fear of heights. In the mid-credits scene, Spidey leaves MJ in the streets after their date. Then, in the center of the city, they overhear a breaking news report. Beck allegedly filmed a video and submitted it to the Daily Bugle before his death. It is displayed by none other than J. Jonah Jameson, the vicious and hostile head editor, and what plays is a doctored film made by Beck to make people believe Spider-Man planned the drone strikes in London. Spidey is then revealed to the whole city as Peter Parker, leaving New Yorkers in shock and placing Peter in a dangerous position. In the post-credits, the Skrulls Talos and his wife Soren are revealed to have been Fury and Mariah. They were commanded by Fury to deliver Edith to Peter, and Talos informs Fury of the situation. Fury is then shown lounging aboard a Skrull spacecraft that he appears to have commandeered. Thanks for watching! Please like, subscribe, and click the bell icon to get new movie recaps.